What if the title for the show was All at Once? Because, duality, it's like two things that are like different but happening at the same time. So it's all at once.
That's really good.
I like it.
Thanks.
I have another idea. I guess it's kind of similar, but like it's a little better, I think, for like the theme of duality. What if we make the title Never at All?
Okay, that doesn't make any sense.
Can I explain, Josie? Do you have to interrupt me? Really?
Okay, fine. I guess.
You better start making sense fast.
Oh my God. Anyways, the reason I think it should be Never at All is because when you think about duality, it's like there's two sides, but then there's like some gray area. And with Never at All, it's like,
But like, where are the sides and never at all? Because like, it sounds like there's no sides.
It's just
like,
an abyss.
It's just nothing.
That's the point. There's no sides since they cancel each other out, so it never happened. Never at all.
But then that's just nothing. Duality
you know what the duality is
both things.
We're in college. We're supposed to be getting all this knowledge in our brains, but we're not. That's a duality because we're in Zoom school.
Okay, I don't know anything. All of the nothing is making sense to nothing,
So then you're on our side then, right?
No, I'm on everything's side. All at once.
Yeah, we're also all overbooked.
How
overbooked college students? So like we're doing everything at once.
If you're doing everything at once, are you even doing anything at all?
That doesn't make any sense.
Yes, it does.
Tell that to my stress that I'm not doing anything.
I feel like a whole lot's happening. So I think nothing would be a little gentler than my experience.
Leah, you agree with me, right? I can see your face. Yeah,
drag her into this.
Don't agree with me.
Claire,
from our apartment here.
A shop on a sunny day. I cross it on a walk with friends through town center. The window is dark and a little dirty. Salt rain and dried soap crust into a white powder around the edges of the panes. Still, I feel a sort of excitement when I see it approaching on my right. I calculate the angle in my head. 20 degrees, 50 degrees, 70 degrees, 85. It's time. I sneak a glance to the side. Check my outfit. Check my hair. Wink. Stazzy. Is that a flyaway? Oh, shit. Gotta check if that helped or hurt. I think there's a Giuseppe's coming up on my right. Do I have dark circles? I am tired.
I'm dead tired. I'm over it. I'm over you. I'm staring at the parts of myself I don't want to look at. My most ugly inner desires fill the basin with the dark fluid. What am I supposed to do? I want to cry, yet I can't find it in myself to. The lake starts to turn and warp into a fanged beast under the moonlight. I don't want to lose this. I don't want you to leave. As I stare back at the frail creature, all I see is myself hoping
the lake is calmer at night. Most of its inhabitants diurnal, and so the surface goes undisturbed, much like the air above it. But here I am, leaning over the dock, staring into its depths with only myself to look back at. Myself in the moon, so smooth it can be mistaken for glass, but laying a finger on it breaks the illusion. It's funny how ripples can feel like splinters, scattering the pieces of you it's collected.
The mirror captures you in every mood. Every slight smile, every stray hair, every sunken shadow after a night of bad sleep. You can hide what you're feeling, but the mirror always knows. It sees the sadness in your eyes, the creases of a smile around your lips. It hears the laughter bubbling deep in your throat.
I hear the laughter bubbling deep in your throat when I make a joke to a new friend. I watch your mouth turn into a smile frown as you try to flatten out your smirk with a stern look. But I can see the glee in your eyes, and it feels like a secret.
It feels like a secret you have me running after. Heaving and winded, and exhausted. It's not fun being lost in a maze of lies. It's not fun reaching out to you only to run into other dark corners of myself. It's not fun chasing after illusions. Because that's all you were, apparently. Your touch nothing but a ghost. Your voice echoing down halls that lead nowhere. And yet for so long I ran, dancing in your puppet show, unknowingly auditioning for a role I didn't know I had competition for.
Today I think I'd win the role. Today I'd get the job. Today I have the upper hand. I think I look pretty cute in my favorite jean shorts and my lucky t-shirt. I think my eyes have that sparkle you read about in books sometimes. And I think my freckles are out. Oh, here comes a shop window on my left. Quick! Hide the doubt, suck in, stand up straight, smooth your hair. My eyes dart over for a quick peek. Oh, I do not look anything like I thought I did. Oh, quick. Sunglasses on, hair back, jacket on. Clearly my internal mirror is not the most accurate.
My internal mirror is not the most accurate. Lost in my thoughts, I accidentally step into a murky puddle. Its size soaks my converses and blackens my vision. My favorite pair, gone just like that. I thought I looked good. I thought I looked happy. I see my warped reflection in the remnants of the disturbed lake and walk away from the ugly truth.
Narcissus blooms. One warm spring day, I see my reflection, and I cannot look away.
I love the water. I crave to know what lies beneath it, behind the calm facade.
The lake, serene as glass, bubbles under a surface. We hide behind smiles, the lake does the same.
An empty silence tries to replace you. I forget this as I stare into the bottom of the lake.
We don't present to the outside world exactly what we're feeling inside.
The lake is my vanity. I wonder if beauty will ever seep into my bones.
Its depths reflect the yearning of my soul, craving your presence.
I want to break it, yet I don't want to be left with nothing.
If I break the mirror, what will I be?
Touch my reflection in the lake, it ripples and it breaks.
I may choose to warp it, but someone else may.
The mirror of my past shatters without you.
I don't recognize myself.
I've lost a part of me.
Will I love me more?
The surface is breaking.
I'm passing the phone to a scene that can't seem to get off Twitter or Discord at 3 o'clock in the morning.
Welcome all to the most valued day of our week, the time to offer our thanks to our patron saint.
Guiding light within the darkness.
Aspirational path to remind us we may always come back if led astray.
Bless him for his righteous quest of his lifetime. Bless him for how he humbles himself. Bless him for stepping up to heavy responsibilities none other could assume.
Amen.
Only he could step up to lead when all else seemed lost and corrupt. Only he who risked all to seek out good could make for a future of hope and potential rather than ongoing destruction.
Only him, Lord.
Long may we revisit his journey and remind ourselves of his greatness and the greatness we may too achieve. May we, with every new reading, uncover more of how he speaks to us and how to love and recognize you are deserving of love, of how to make up for your mistakes in earnest without shallow apologies and empty promises.
Truth and guidance.
May we never lose sight of his light.
May our scars not be erased, but reflect our strength of enduring.
May we redirect that which intends to wound to where it will hurt no other again.
Long shall he live to keep his story going anew. All hail Fire Lord Zuko!
Gosh, he's just so spectacular, right?
Best redemption arc in media.
The power.
He's so powerful. Like, physical strength, I mean.
But even in bending, he's right up there with Katara and Azula.
Yeah, how could anyone call him weak?
'Cause he's a bitch?
The fuck?
The audacity.
My honor, my honor. He doesn't have any real problems.
You take that back? Right now.
I mean, whatever it is Zuko's after, it's not saving the world, so it doesn't matter.
We need to end them.
No, that just makes us look bad.
And me with what? Saying daddy issues are harder than having the literal weight of the world on your shoulders? Being completely alone in doing so? Because your whole culture's been wiped out? Aang is the real protagonist anyways.
Okay, that doesn't mean that no one else in the show matters.
True. I mean, I guess Katara's important because she's the one person that's truly, there for Aang.
Oh, shit.
The fuck did you just say?
Best support in the show, to be honest.
Katara is not a support character. Aang is not what makes her important. Katara is a powerful and passionate force that the show would not have happened without. Do not reduce her to a fucking accessory.
Too bad she's homophobic, though.
She's what?
Like, kind of homophobe, you know?
What? Where? No?
Definitely tragically straight.
You think Katara is heterosexual?
You think she isn't?
I mean, she has to be straight to be with Aang.
Wait a minute. You're not just a Zuko stan, are you?
What's it to ya?
Who do you ship him with?
Sokka.
Of fucking course.
Oh my god, sword gaze icons, yes! You're a Zutara shipper?
And fucking proud.
That's racist!
But you literally just...
He killed her mom.
Whoa, wait a second. He was like 10.
And in the Fire Nation?
Doesn't matter. He's responsible.
Do I hear slander of the greatest work of media to cross this earth?
No, just the irredeemable imperialist scumbag in it.
Bite your tongue!
I'll say it. No one on that side of the war can ever properly redeem themselves to me.
Well, fortunately enough, you're not a character in the show.
Yeah, I'm even more important than that. I'm the audience.
Hell yeah, it matters most that we believe in the story.
Sounds a lot like you just believe what you want.
Come on, you are the worst here.
Fuck
Do
you.
not even
Like,
talk.
you don't have room to
You
talk.
have room to talk.
Come on,
Fuck
bitch.
you. Whoa. I just stated an observation.
Yeah, but no one wants to hear it from you, Zutara.
I mean, they aren't wrong, though. Everyone seems to pick and choose what they do and don't want from the work this far out.
There is a very firm foundation we mustn't stray from, though.
But what's the fun in that?
It's not about your fun. It's about preserving the artisanship of the work.
Yeah, what's canon is canon, fucker.
Sure, but what if also, additionally, fuck canon. I'm living with AO3 now. You cannot fuck canon. It is the truth of how the story is meant to be told.
Well, it's meant to be told a little too straight for my tastes.
You're wrong.
How am I wrong to enjoy something?
Because you're not enjoying it the way I do.
Okay.
And I'm right. Canon is right. For you. How could you dislike anything about this franchise? It is unmatched in its depth, world building, character development, the messages it sends, the lessons, the stories.
Even then, I don't have to like everything the creators did to enjoy some part of it.
No, I will never allow a shred of negativity within 10 feet of this masterpiece.
I mean, we all like the show, but...
But what? There are no buts. It's unmatched, not a flaw in sight.
I don't know, it's kind of like a root character trait that Zuko, is problem.
Yeah, especially if you ask Ozai.
I can beat their ass for joking about child abuse, right? That's completely founded.
But he's got the best redemption arc in media. Well, sure, but that doesn't mean he can do no wrong.
I mean, he does it because of desperation and trauma.
Yeah, but no amount of pain you've suffered is gonna justify treating everyone in your way like shit.
Or being an imperialist asshole.
Okay, Zuko was a variety pack of assholes season 1, but imperialist just isn't on the list.
Are you kidding me? The Fire Nation, colonizing the Earth Kingdom throughout the series, Airbender genocide, Southern raids, any of this ringing a bell for you?
Oh, my ears have been ringing for a while. What I'm trying to figure out is what an, at best, 10-year-old and at worst, over a century out from being born, Zuko has to do with any of that.
Reparations.
For what?
Y'all, we may have lost the plot.
I'll fucking say it. It's perfect the way it is.
No, I mean, like, why do we love this stuff? It was literally all fun and games. Fan art and memes. But people have gotten kind of crazy invested in all the little nitpicks of micro-expressions and throwaway lines. I mean, it's a cartoon, for fuck's sake. When we boil it down, these are pixels. It's not real, and we shouldn't expend this much real energy on something that gives us next to nothing in return.
I still think I'm right.
I mean, I guess.
Yeah, I guess.
I still think I'm right.
You say it like that.
Hold on. Who do you ship Zuko with?
May.
Of fucking course.
Basic.
Only a May.
May was
Alright, fuck you! May is perfectly spectacular as she is.
May was
She's gotten knives.
May
Like,
was
she was so
Zuko.
great. She deserves it.
Doesn't even
Zuko, if we're
care
being
about
fucking
Zuko.
honest.
I'm passing the phone to a scene about feeling all of the feelings. All at once. Or never at all.
It was a Friday when he died. 1,000 miles apart and no way to see him, the virus raging on, becoming a barrier between us stronger than a Teflon wall. I put my arms around my chest and pretended it wasn't happening. I tried pretending you weren't gone. I tried denying the simple and devastating fact that you were gone. No one ever told me grieving was harder when the world was on fire. But I guess it makes sense that I wouldn't get closure. I counted the days since we last met on my fingers. 1, 2, 3, 5, 10, 50, 100, 405, 1994. Counting backwards until I could breathe. 900, 642, 365, 107, 53, 12, 3, 2, 1. A heavyweight champion squeezed at my chest until tears leaked out from my eyes. They don't tell you that grief can be so palpable it leaves scars on your soul. When the tears stop, the raging tide breaks through the dam, and then everything sets you off. A glass shatters and the whole world suddenly falls apart, and finally you take a breath. It's healing. You're never complete, not fully. There's always a piece missing, a piece that can't be filled, just an empty hole on display for the world.
After it all ends, what happens? When the hymns have been sung, the bones and body interned for eternity, tears dry and leave salty streaks that itch like scabs on your cheek. If you pick at them, they'll bleed, so you just don't touch it. Because it comes back, the bleeding sadness, the ache. So we go about with our dry cheeks, skin tight. The sadness evaporates and leaves anger, which crystallizes into bitterness, which hardens to hate if you let it. It infects your wounds, hardening the rocks you swallowed, poisoning the tears you drink, so that you can't heal. A broken bone set without a splint, twisted, solid, and wrong, and hurt. It will always hurt. I almost broke down in the bathroom stall. Enough, be strong. Mirror pep talk. I'm not going to grieve what I haven't even lost yet. I was all smiles in the hospital room, hugging and holding hands. My brother was a puddle, and I hugged him too. Secretly, I thought I would never let them see me like this. And I didn't. I did my own crying that night in my room, my mouth stuffed with sweatshirt sleeve. It got harder to hide once he departed. My dad practiced the eulogy in front of me in my childhood bedroom. I could only stare at him and let my eyes fill up as I watched him choke out the words, clear his throat, start over again. He'd never let me see him like this before.
From the start, you were the representation I needed. The one with the knowledge, the one with all the power, The one with the vision for me that even I couldn't see. You gave me a chance. From the first feel of sand under my toes to the wide open waters and how deep they go. The roughness of the sand seemed to tickle at my toes, for where you were leading me, they surely don't go. At last, my trust was gained by you. Such calmness, such agility was ever flowing through you. I guess this is when I felt the first big blow. Uplifting and encouraging one day, the next, not so. By now, the tides are getting stronger, and I'm getting a little older. No longer do you have to hold my hand to the great water yonder. This is when things began to change. From me needing you, to the possibility of leaving you. Suddenly, the waves weren't my only struggle. I was getting ready to leave, so you needed to hustle. You convinced me my fight was only within myself, while you had 2 hands on my feet dragging me down. Too fat. Too old. Try to leave. Being great is something you will never be. You would be nothing if it wasn't for me. Your words hit me from every direction. I desire for the surface and I to make a connection. A riptide with no one to control is what you shall be, because you no longer have a hold on me.
Wei, I say as I pick up the phone. It's a call from you. I've been waiting all day for this. I wanted to tell you to make sure you're eating well and taking care of yourself. Like the way you took care of me when I was a baby. Like the way you made me drink that herbal soup after dinner. Like the way you bought fresh fish in Chinatown every day just for me. Are you doing okay? The phone call takes me back to those days. You'd fill the bathtub with water hot enough to make me second-guess bathing, then add cold water to balance it out. You were my balance. I remember those nights I would touch your birthmark as you slept by my side. I remember all these things about you I'd almost forgotten. How old are you now? Mama, I don't want you to die. The news flashes across my phone. Another 8 dead. Another shooting. Though we're miles apart now, you're the first person that comes to mind. What if I see your face on the news, your name, your smile? What if you're out in Chinatown buying some fish for me, and I never get to hear your voice again? That could be you, I think to myself. Mama, wiki nang ocean na. I tell her I've been eating well. I don't want to worry her. She jokes about getting more white hairs because of me. But I can't help worrying about her. I can't help these restless nights without her by my side. I can't help thinking that could be her. When I was younger, I wished I could grow up fast to be by your side and take care of you. Now, I wish I was my young, naive self. I wish I didn't know what you were going through. Fear my mama carried every time she went to buy fish for me. I don't know what I'd do if you were gunned down while getting groceries. Thinking about which fish I liked the most and the time it would take for you to cook it and how long it would take before the next bus arrived. As I stand with my Asian brothers and sisters, we think about all these things. How any given second can turn into your last. How much I love you even if I call less and less. Even if I don't say, well, I need, every time you call me. It's this kind of love I don't want to lose.
Why don't you like being called dead name? I just talked to them last semester, and I could tell they were trying their best to live. I knew them in high school, I said. We were closer freshman year, and then each found our own people. I saw them in our high school hallways with the button-downs, and I smiled to myself when they cut off all their hair. We talked senior year like old friends, and I always wondered why we hadn't been. When we got to college, we were each other's only people for the first weekend. I had a crush on them when our legs touched on his bed, laughing and watching a ridiculous kids show on Netflix. They brought me water and tampons when I was spilling red wine from my mouth in the dorm bathroom toilet. The kind of person with the kind of kindness that I felt I couldn't possibly reciprocate. Like when I texted them out of the blue last semester for help on an assignment, and we talked for an hour and a half about being trans and the university's healthcare services. I smiled when I heard their voice on the Zoom call, cracking in a second puberty and a deeper laugh, but the same smile. 3 months later, everyone got an email with their picture in it. Deep down, I knew what happened, but I was scared to admit it to myself. "Why don't you like being called dead name?" their therapist said to them. They stopped seeing their doctors because they got misgendered so much. There's no way I can be sad without being furious. The research findings, the statistics, the competency trainings, it all makes me sick. How can any of it matter now? What good is it if it did nothing to save his life? Yes, change is slow, but it's way too fucking slow. And lights are still dimmed even if there's a brighter future ahead. I hate the world without him. I just want to send him a text and see how he's doing.
Long day today. Nothing more than work and home now. You have a good day? I'm sure you did. How can you run past me so fast? What? Are you not even going to say hello? Give me 1 sec to just... Oh. You're gone. You must have ran upstairs while I blinked. That's it. Anyway, it's almost dinner time. Are you hungry? I know exactly what will make you smile. I can't seem to find your favorite bowl. Well, time for bed, I guess. You coming? Not now? Later then? All right. I can feel your presence all around me. Not in a spooky way, but in a warm way. I can feel the pressure of you climbing into bed and it brings me comfort. I refuse to believe you just up and left me like that. Can't believe it. I close my eyes and you are so vivid in my mind. To think your journey in life will be without me is something I will never comprehend.
Can you grieve for something that was never yours? Your sweet voice tainted with shrill, the shine of your hair suddenly dull. Your warm skin exposed to the chill, and I can't remember why I loved you at all. It's almost like a memory of summer, but the creep of autumn shifts it anew. And then every thought of you is a bummer, and my world is washed in an all-blue hue. Someone tell me why I loved you so, when you never thought of me for a second. Perhaps one day I will know, and every piece of your heart will finally be reckoned. When I think of you now, I smile and laugh, because I know where you are in life, but I can't even grieve on your behalf. So carry on, my dear, through the strife, and allow me to send a middle finger to my non-ex-lover. Dedicated to Jacob Paul Mitchell, who deserves to say fuck you to all of the boys who have ever wronged him. Someone told me you moved to New York. They told me you're thriving, doing well, making a name for yourself, or trying to. I didn't expect to get so upset, so jealous that the devil incarnate was finding success, the jealousy that you were where I wanted to be. And perhaps we said we would go there as a pair,
partners in crime, sisters from different misters, making a life together in the big city. And then I saw your name on a piece of mail in my P.O. box. It was like I went back to high school, when I sent you that letter and told you I didn't want to lose you. When the floodgates opened and spilled onto the linoleum floor of that basement. When you told me you hated me and wanted nothing to do with me. When I told you that you meant everything to me, and you threw me away anyways, ripping my still beating heart out through my throat and forcing me to choke on my suffering. I read the letter. I pored over every word and line of crap you spewed about how sorry you were, about how much you fucked up. And surprisingly, no tears fell. The letter sits in my fireplace now, watching the last piece of you burn away, each inch of paper burning into oblivion, each corner of this little world of yours condemned to obscurity, letting your final attempt at self-preservation and shedding your guilt turn to ash. I took the ashes from your letter and put them in an urn. I sealed that urn in a crate and shipped it to the sea, never to be seen or heard from again. And that was how I knew I would be okay. You were a thing of the past, the dark, dismal, depressing past. I used to worship the ground you walked on, and now I can finally say that I don't care about you. I don't care what you're doing, who you're friends with, where you go at night, who you let into your bed. I can finally say you mean nothing to me. I've gotten my closure. I won't give you yours.
I've moved 3 times in my life. Each time, I was forced to pack up every memory and cram it into a little Uline box. My Pokemon cards, my worn clothes, my grandmother's protective necklace. Extensions of my body, shoved into the back of my father's small Honda and taken somewhere far away from home. Not home anymore. We're going to our new home, Father says. They say life gets easier after you've experienced something once. I don't know if that's true. Each time, I secretly hoped that this home would be the last. My uncle used to live with my family in our old townhouse. We would see each other around the house on the weekends, and I usually went to school before he would wake up. On days I was late to school, I asked him to drive me. We both knew how my parents would react if they'd found out. Every time I asked, he got dressed without a word. He provided a safe place for me on those days I was late, safe from my parents' punishment. One day, an ambulance came to our house. They came for him. Soon after he died, my parents decided our townhouse had bad feng shui. They said we needed to move, and so we did. I still feel guilty for taking his life for granted. I don't think I ever thanked him for all the times he drove me to school. At his funeral, I heard people say bad things about him, how he smoked and gambled and cheated. All I remember is his unspoken kindness. To this day, I will remember the way he covered for me. I feel that someday, I might have to provide a safe home for someone else too. I will dedicate this memory to when that time comes. Thank you, Uncle. I'm mad nothing is permanent. I'm sad I didn't know any better back then. I'm glad I understand now that this was all part of my growing pains.
A man I didn't recognize came up to me and told me who I was. I was barefoot at a funeral, holding a mostly grenadine Southern Comfort Manhattan. He sized me up and told me that my grandpa admired my free spirit. He called me by my name and hugged me. This man worked with my grandfather for years and watched me grow up through his eyes. The other time, I got a lot of texts from friends, most embarrassingly from exes and people I'd let slide from my life. I wished I could tell them that I didn't need it. I didn't know them that well, and that someone needs them more. That maybe he needed them more. I find comfort in nothingness afterlife. I want to be thrown in the woods and eaten by worms and forgotten by time, but I know that my dog went to heaven, and I know my old friend is in the heaven they believed in, and my grandpa's in a recliner in the sky taking a nap, not in an orange vase in the mantelpiece. In death, we can give each other the stories we want and the happy endings we deserve. Grief never ends. It's as certain as death and just as eternal, but it's as important as life because it lets us live. It lets us live on, and by living, we heal. We fill in our wounds with fresh skin, scarred and weeping, but shining silver in the sun, like a river filling a canyon. We learn to heal by living and learning to live in a different world. I'm passing the phone to the creator with the loudest feet in this entire university.
For the last time. Dear Alexander, I am slow to anger, but I told a lie as I reckon with the effects of your life on mine. I look back on where I failed, and in every place I checked, the only common thread has been your disrespect. Now you call me immoral, dangerous disgrace. If you've got something to say, name a time and place, face to face. I have the honor to be your obedient servant, A. Burr. I am not the reason no one trusts you. No one knows what you believe. I will not equivocate on my opinion. I have always worn it on my sleeve. Even if I said what you think I said, you would need to cite a more specific grievance. Here's an itemized list of 30 years of disagreements. Sweet Jesus. Hey, I have not been shy. I am just a guy in the public eye, trying to do my best for our republic. I don't want to fight, but I won't apologize for doing what's right. I have the honor to be your obedient servant, A. Hill. Careful how you proceed, good man. Intemperate indeed, good man. Anti-Colgate accusations I lay at your feet, or I'm meant to bleed, good man. Your grievance is legitimate. I stand by what I said, every bit of it. You stand only for yourself. It's what you do. I can't apologize because it's true. Let's stand, Alexander. Hawking on. Guns drawn. You're wrong. I have the honor to be your obedient servant, A. Hill. A. Burr.
I'm passing the phone to a scene that was forced to take the Arhi language requirement.
新年快乐！有一些饺子 for 我们的 future， 水果 for 我们的 past， 磕头 for 我们的老人 ，and 红包 for 我们。我的哥哥和我 we learn together， 没法出去玩，不能跟朋友。不要偷懒，努力学习 ，be successful。但是我们的幸福在哪里
La cucaracha baila, baila la bamba, feliz Navidad.
Cuando estaba en la escuela secundaria, tenía una gran oportunidad. Sí, tenía la oportunidad de estudiar francés y tenía la oportunidad de viajar a Quebec. Solo por 5 días, pero todavía viajar a Quebec. Tenía una amiga por correspondencia en Quebec. Todos nosotros teníamos amigos por correspondencias en Quebec. Conocimos a su escuela en su ciudad y hablamos sobre nunca. Nuestras actividades, clases y aves favoritas. Notre activité, cours y oiseau préféré. Ellos hablaban inglés naturalmente como nosotros, pero mi francés era muy básico. Entonces, solo usamos inglés. No entiendo el idioma de francés. No hablo el idioma de francés. ¿Podría aprender? No sé. Ahora yo quiero aprender español, no francés. Pero es difícil también. Estoy envidioso de personas bilingües, pero solo puedo entender ahora.
הרוס קשה בעברית, הרוס קשה באנגלית. אתה לא יכולה זוכר שפה שאתה לא מדבר, דואלינגו לא עוזר.
我喜欢的字，苹果、西瓜、方便面。我喜欢吃的。
当我4、5岁的时候，我告诉爸爸妈妈，从今天开始，我不想说中文。God， 我想打4、5岁的我。Stupid idiot.
나는 친구들과 소주를 마셨어요. 우리는 같이 술 놀이를 했어요. 소주를 같이 마시면 재밌어요. 내가 제일 좋아하는 맛은 복숭아 소주.
אני זוכר חכיתה, כיתה ג' למדתי השמע, אבל לא עברית היא בלשוי speak, ועכשיו אני לא מבינה.
I'll never be 100% fluent en la lengua del país en que nací. Aprendí tarde, tan tarde. So it's just something I'll never be. Es difícil a pensar of the right words en el momento and getting the right conjugation de los verbos. I just can't do. Mi cerebro es hardwired in English, cuando lo debe ser hardwired en español. Me siento separado de mis raíces, my roots. Soy un árbol uplifted and moved and planted lejos de mi bosque.
No entiendo la tarea. ¿Necesito leer toda la obra? Yo quiero dormir una siesta y no pensar de cualquier cosa.
我喜欢睡觉，但是晚了的时候，我更想游泳。
사람들은 내가 충분히 한국인 아니라고 말해. 근데 짜장면랑 비빔밥은 다 알아요. 엄마가 포도, 사과, 밥 같은 말을 가르쳐 주셨어요. 나는 바나나가 누군가에게 호감이 가는 젖을 의미한다는 젖을 안 하다. 사랑해라고 말하는 법도 알아요. 방탄소년단 듣고 가족과 함께 김치 만들기. 우리 아버지는 미국인이니까 사람들은 내가 백인이라고 말해. 하지만 저희 어머니는 서울에서 태어났어요. 미국인들은 나를 에이자 부르지만 한국인들은 나를 백인이라고 부르는다. 한국말 잘 못하는데 K-드라마를 보면서 연습해요. 내가 한국인도 아니고 미국인도 아니라면 나는 누구이니까.
Il y avait une fois une grenouille, ou j'ai déjà oublié. Il a un chapeau et a dit à bientôt avant de disparaître dans la nuit.
Mi gato es esponjoso y suave. Él nunca veía en el mar. Él se sienta en su caja y mira los aves. Ataca la ventana. Ataca a su hermana. Pero principalmente mirar.
לפי ימים אני חושבת, יש לי מזל שאמא שלי. היא גורמת לי לצחוק, אנחנו מדברים באותה שפה. מתי היא דבר? את משוגע. אני מבינה, היא דברת אמת, אני אוהבת אותך.
I'm passing the phone to the creator with the loudest feet in this entire university.
I am passing the phone to a scene that I like to watch religiously.
Darkness, an empty void.
Before there was life, there was only darkness. No gardens, no snakes, no pain, no suffering, no men. It was a kind of darkness that lulls someone into deep slumber and calms the panic static of their mind. My mind. My mind has lots of static.
A pulse, something coming through the veil of blackness.
In his boredom, God created new life, earth, heaven, all of the oceans and all of the stars. He wanted something that he could manipulate and control, a world all of his own making. God has a complex, and it's his complex that led to, well...
The pulse grows.
Adam was his first sentient creation, created in God's image, or so they say. The first man, the perfect man, the only man that will ever matter, my partner, faithful, true, pure of heart, and sharp of mind.
Around Adam, the scenery changes to that of a garden. A lake, trees abundant with fruit, flowers spread across the fields.
Adam got tired of living alone, so God decided to give him a partner. He tore Adam's rib from his chest, eviscerating the flesh and healing it all in one instant, and he created me.
As she reads these lines, Adam cries out in pain and procures a blood-soaked rib from which Eve is born. As she speaks the next lines at Adam, rather than being a faceless voice in the void. She is beautiful, ethereal, the perfect creation. He does not hear her, and it is content to caress and fondle at her form, ignoring her discomfort from the touch of his meaty palms.
Beautiful and loyal servant, Adam's partner, but not his equal, never his equal. Woman, born of man. Instead, he decided I was merely dirt under his toes.
He berates her. He looks at her like she's a stranger, but never raises his voice to a scream. He doesn't touch her, or at least he never touches her enough to bruise. The threat looms over her regardless, the possibilities of all he could do weighing on her, suffocating her.
The saddest lie God ever told me was that I was valued, that I was loved. Little did I know that wasn't his only lie. Thou shalt not bear false witness against thy neighbor.
Scene 2, the garden. Daytime. Sunlight streams through the trees of Eden and paints reflecting patterns of light on the lake. The flowers are blossoming in all the colors of the rainbow. Birds chirp. A stream flows in the distance. Soft melodies from an unknown source play in the background. Eve and Adam sit together. Eve is wearing a crown of flowers, while Adam is sharpening a stick.
Adam, do you ever wonder what's beyond the garden?
That's a stupid question.
I'm serious.
No, because unlike you, I know that there's nothing, and if there is, it's a dangerous land full of death and destruction and unhappiness. Why think about what's beyond the garden when we're perfectly happy in the garden, my little songbird, where I can keep you safe from pain, where God can keep a watchful eye over us, over you.
I had a dream.
About?
I don't really know. I saw vast open skies and endless landscapes of water, and I saw creatures like none other here in the garden. I saw flesh and limbs tangling together, but not in a gruesome or an ugly way. It was actually quite beautiful. Two bodies, hand to hand, chest to chest, heart to heart, soul to soul.
You sound insane.
Maybe I am.
He goes back to his task, but she can't. Now she's let the words spill out and they won't stop.
What if we're meant for more than just this?
Do you not trust the word of God?
I do.
Well, God will tell us what we are meant to do, and he has told us that this is our purpose, our place. So we will do as he says. Do I make myself clear, little bird?
Yes. I just think that...
No more nonsense. I won't hear it. God damn it, just go back to your flower weaving and shut up. God told us that this is our place. God has given us rules, and he told me it was my job to remind you of those rules, as you are my body, and I am your sole protector. Break them, let your mouth wander away from you again, and my hand will be forced down upon you, as is my sworn duty to the Lord our Savior himself. I don't enjoy hurting you, little bird, but you know what happens when we disobey. You are my flesh and blood, and I cherish you no matter how harsh I get with you. We mustn't let ourselves stray from his teachings, that a husband keeps his wife in line by whatever means necessary. You don't want that, do you, my sweet songbird?
Eve haggles off like a stray dog, defeated, alone once again.
Thou shalt not take the name of thy Lord, thy God, in vain.
Scene 3, Temptation. Eve has wandered off to a new part of the garden, one that she has not seen before. The trees are not as dense, and she finds herself in the middle of an open field with a single tree in the center. Hanging from the tree is an apple, crimson, ripe, succulent.
Where am I? Is this still Eden?
Sounds from the garden grow in intensity for a sharp, short burst and then fade back into the background. The garden is answering her, and the wind pushes her onward.
What a lovely tree. I wonder why I've never seen it before.
That's because you haven't been looking, my dear.
Who said that? Who are you? Show yourself.
I go by many names, but you, dear girl, you can call me Lucifer.
That name, it sounds familiar.
Perhaps you heard it in a dream. I see you've been having many dreams. Dreams of the world beyond, dreams of life's pleasures, dreams of sin.
How do you know about that?
You're a child of God, are you not? I can see into the minds of all God's children, for I am an extension of God himself.
All of his children? I thought it was just me and Adam.
As far as you know.
What does that mean?
Never mind.
Are you always so cryptic and vague?
Only when I meet lovely little creatures like yourself, all rosy cheeks and soft skin, I could devour you whole, sweet creature.
Why have I never seen you here before? How did you enter Eden? Where do you come from?
So many questions for such a small, delicate creature, but there's something else, a deeper desire for more, something primal, carnal.
That's ridiculous. It's not true.
Oh, are you so sure about that?
They're close now, heavy breaths and pants between them. Sometime between their introduction and their conversation, they have gravitated towards one another. Under the tree, Lucifer picks the single apple off of the branch and offers it to her.
For you. Have you ever tasted real succulence, real sweetness? Ever experienced the greater pleasures in life, my sweet little flower? Take a bite.
Their eyes lock. He caresses her cheek, the apple drops from her hand, and their lips connect in a blaze of fire.
Thou shalt not commit adultery.
They kiss again. Scene 4, Hellfire and Revelations. Sex, pure and unfiltered, a carnal, beautiful, passionate display of flesh. Eve and Lucifer make love against a tree in the grass in a stream nearby. He nips at her soft skin and she bites back playfully. They laugh, they moan, they give into each other completely. In this moment, despite his power, they are equals. She screams his name, then whispers it against his ear. He trails kisses down her bare body, caressing her soft curves. This is nothing like she has ever experienced before. There is so much joy and pure love here, despite only knowing him for mere hours. He makes her feel alive. She finally understands her dreams. There is a sense of completeness in the afterglow of their affair. They lie together under the shade of the tree in the grass. He kisses her palm gently as she tangles her fingers in his hair.
You never answered my question.
Which one?
All of them.
I told you that I am an extension of God, and that is halfway true. I was once his right hand. Not very long ago, I was a strong and powerful archangel, the morning star, the greatest of all his soldiers, a brother to Gabriel and Raphael and Salephiel and Azrael and Michael. We were the protectors of God's will, the peacemakers, the justice seekers, and I was the most magnificent of them all.
How humble of you.
No need for humility when it's true, little flower.
You said you were an archangel. What happened?
Well, before I tell you that, you first need to know that you and Adam are not the first humans to walk the earth. God created other mortals before you.
What happened to them?
They all perish. God neglected their needs, and now their bones lay in a wasteland buried so deep underground that no one will ever find them. God hid the evidence of his failures and tried again and again and again. This is another trial run, but I'm sure he thinks that this time will be a success. That's beside the point, however. I met one of these mortals once, a beautiful woman named Lilith. She actually looked very similar to you. I suppose that's his cruel way of continuing my punishment.
Why did he punish you?
I fell in love with her. It was against all of his laws to form an attachment to the mortals. To him, they were his puppets, his experiments. I decided to run away with her, to defy God. I sought power beyond my station so that I could become more powerful than him and find a way to hide away from him, but I confided in the wrong brother. Michael told God, and as punishment, Lilith was ripped limb from limb, and I was forced to watch. Then, because that wasn't punishment enough, God tore off my wings and threw me down to exile on Earth. I've managed to make the most of it. I still had my power, and with the help of dark magic and spirits, I created my own kingdom, Hell, a paradise of pleasure, truth, and darkness. I was free of his control, and I made a new world, a better one, where all the souls who come there can live free of his law. It's been distorted more recently to also become a place of punishment for the wicked, but only the real monsters of the earth are subjected to cruelty by my hand. Punish the wicked and let the rest live in the afterlife in pleasure-filled ecstasy. That's my prerogative.
It sounds incredible.
Perhaps one day you will stand down there with me, by my side as my equal.
If only I could.
You can. Just say the word, my flower.
Let me think on it. Give me some time. I can't just leave Adam without an explanation. He at least deserves an explanation.
Very well. I'll give you 7 days. By the next Sabbath, I want your answer.
He kisses her again, their sweetness and heat all tangled together.
Remember the Sabbath day, to keep it holy.
Scene 5, Child of Man. Eve and Adam are back together in the main part of the garden. It's been 5 days since her tryst with Lucifer.
You've been awfully quiet lately.
I thought you liked it when I was silent and submissive. Didn't you say that's how a woman should be? Isn't that God's perfect blueprint, his perfect design? Women who are quiet?
It's just not like you to obey.
Maybe I just don't have anything to say to you.
And you've been ill more frequently.
Maybe it's something I ate.
Don't play with me, Eve. I know when something's wrong with you. You are mine. I know you better than anyone. Spit it out.
Let's have sex.
What?
God intended for us to start a new race of humans, did he not? Let's just get it over with. It's not a sin by God's definition if we're married. And we are, aren't we? We were married when you pulled me from your chest and shaped me into your obedient servant.
Very well, little bird. Whatever you want.
They have sex. It's clinical, emotionless. Eve looks uncomfortable. She doesn't want to be here. There is no raw passion, no foreplay, no heat. There is no love here. It's the complete opposite of her affair with Lucifer. She almost moans Lucifer's name as Adam thrusts, but she catches herself. Or she thinks she does. She covers herself immediately after he finishes. She gained nothing from this except the cover for her affair with Lucifer. a way to explain the sudden fruit in her womb.
Was that good for you? I know it was your first time, and it can hurt.
It was fine.
There was a name you called out. What was it? Lusa?
What? It was nothing.
Ah, so now you're lying to me. First you go off and to be unfaithful to me, let another man make you his whore, get pregnant with his child, and then you dare lie to me about it.
How did you?
God tells his loyal servants all, and I am his most loyal slave, his progeny, his firstborn.
Adam, before you do anything harsh, let me explain.
No, I don't need or want an explanation from you. A slut like you who can't keep herself from throwing herself at any other man that comes along, who just lets anyone stick it in and get his dick wet. Well, a cunt like that deserves a severe punishment, doesn't she? You not only disobeyed and deceived me, your husband, your creator, me, who only wanted to protect my little songbird, and you betrayed me. But worse, you disobeyed God himself. And now I will be his sword, and I will see to it that you are given the punishment that God sees fit, a whore's death. Perhaps I'll nail you to a tree, display your disgraceful form and for all the creatures of Eden to see. They'll all cheer as I whip your dirty, soiled body until you repent. And only then, when you're pleading and crying and screaming for mercy, will I let you die.
Let her go, or I will slit your disgusting throat.
You mustn't be this whore's new toy. Lucifer, was it?
I'll say it one more time. Let her go, or you'll regret ever being created.
Please, Lucifer, don't fight him. For my sake. Let's just leave.
Any man who touches what belongs to me pays. No exceptions, no remorse.
You want to leave with this creature, little bird? Fine, go ahead. Be my guest. Be condemned to eternal damnation for all I care. Just get yourself out of my sight.
Even Lucifer embrace. He cradles her cheek and kisses her tears away.
So you've decided? You want to rule with me? Be my queen, raise our children together? Welcome souls to hell where they can be free and punish the damned?
Yes, I want nothing more. I just want to be with you.
And so it shall be, my love.
Adam stabs him through the back with a sharpened branch, barely missing Eve. His blood spills out onto the grass and into her palms where she tries to cover the wound. The makeshift spear sticks out from his chest. It's a bloody, gruesome image. Eve cries out and cradles Lucifer in her arms as he dies.
What did you do?
What God should have done a long time ago. The serpent shall die just as he intended. Satan shall be no more.
Eve, my love, look at me. Never forget. You have more power than he would let you believe. Cultivate it. Use it. Become my queen and raise hell on earth.
Thou shalt not kill.
Scene 6, Exile. Eve and Adam are preparing to leave Eden. It's raining. Eden is weeping for Eve's fate. Eve is obviously pregnant now.
This is your fault. If you could have kept your legs closed, we wouldn't be in this situation. And now God is punishing both of us for your sins.
No.
What did you just say to me?
It's not my fault.
Adam keeps going on, screaming at her, but all at once the world falls away and she can't hear him. The rain has stopped.
It was never your fault, my flower.
Lucifer?
Hello, love.
You're dead. You died. I saw you die. Am I going mad?
My mortal body died, but I am the great and powerful Satan himself, the snake, God's sword and leader of his great army, the chosen one. I can't be killed so easily.
Can I come to you?
No. Now that my mortal form is dead, seeing you now in the form I take would kill you, and your soul would be trapped somewhere much worse than anything I could ever come up with. You can't look at me. Not now. Not until you die naturally.
I can't leave Eden with him. He'll kill me. He'll kill our babies.
I won't let that happen. I'll protect you and I'll make sure Adam pays for his sins against you, so long as you stay loyal to me.
Anything for you.
Good. Now I must let you back to talk to Adam. I'll visit you in your dreams tonight, and every night. Wait for me, Eve.
Eve can hear Adam once again. The world is back to normal. They're walking out of Eden to the edge of the garden. It's still raining.
First chance I get once you give birth, you're dead. I'll see to it myself that you die a whore's death, as you deserve. I'll strip the skin from your bones and feed it to your bastard son. Do you hear me?
Eve's barely paying attention. She knows he can't harm her. Lucifer will protect her. Her babies will be safe. He drags her out the rest of the way by her hair when she stops walking. She screams and cries. He doesn't listen.
Thou shalt not make unto thee any graven images.
Scene 7, rebirth. Eve, months later, in a shack holding her babies. She looks miserable and tired, but as she looks at her son's faces, she smiles, ever so slightly.
Cain and Abel were born months after I left Eden with Adam. I almost lost them. Adam became worse after we left the garden.
She places one baby in a crib and pulls out her breast to feed the other.
Once the twins were born, Adam changed. They have two different fathers, which was clear enough when they were born. Cain, son of Lucifer, Abel, son of Adam, both born from my womb.
The baby finishes feeding and Eve puts him down to pick up the other.
Cain is the serpent seed. He's destined to bring about the end of the world. Lucifer told me so. But I'm sure God won't let that happen. He's a sweet boy. You wouldn't guess it, but he's the sweeter of the two. Abel is a fiery little one. He hates his father, but he loves his mother dearly.
The baby finishes feeding as well. She puts him down and hums a tune to lull them to sleep.
It's just as well. His father is, well, he just gets off from beating me, reminding me what he could do to me, or what he thinks he could do to me. I still see Lucifer's every night in my dreams. He visits and we talk and laugh and make love. And one day when Cain and Abel are grown and I can finally know peace, I will see him again and I will find my salvation. One day I will know peace. But today is not that day. I am the Lord thy God. Thou shalt have no other gods before me.
I'm passing my phone to a scene that might be a little unsatisfying.
Lights up on a standard bedroom. Pictures cover the walls, longtime stuffed animals in the corner. Kristen is sitting in the corner of the room journaling. Her phone buzzes next to her, and she picks it up, squinting in the harsh blue glow. There's new texts from Angie.
Can we FaceTime? Having problems with boy again.
Another text lights up the screen from Mama. Dinner in 5. Kristen pauses, then continues writing in her journal. Angie waits impatiently, looking at her phone.
When I was little, I used to love matching people to the animals they reminded me of. My mom was a dolphin with her bright eyes. My sister was a baby bunny. I don't really do that anymore.
Dude, I know you're there.
Now, I just think all humans are like chameleons. We look and dress and act different depending on who we're with. We learn how to change our colors, shift into new versions of ourselves, just doing anything to try and blend in with our current environments.
Kristen sighs almost inaudibly and lets her finger hover over the different texts for a second. Then she quickly smiles and types back to Angie.
I got you. Call me in 5.
You rock. See you soon.
I don't think we're born with the desire to blend in, but as a baby chameleon, when we're showing off our natural spots and patterns to anyone who'll look at us, we learn a hard lesson. If we stand out, we get attacked by a predator.
Flashback to a middle school hallway. Flip phones and braces everywhere. As they walk to class together, Angie and Kristen pass a girl standing alone at a vending machine.
I think I had that shirt in the 3rd grade.
I thought it was kind of cute.
Seriously?
I love Angie. I think we've been friends since 3rd grade. She's just the kind of girl you notice, you know? Not the one like not everyone so secretly, the one that everyone not so secretly wants to be like. And she chose me to play with at recess. So now we're in high school, still friends, and she tells me things. Check it out.
Drew hit me up on Snap again last night. I cannot.
Again? Look at me! I know what to say. Or she would say,
my mom's driving me crazy.
Oh God, Sally, what'd she do now? I know her mom's name! So, what? She didn't know anything about my family or my life or my friends. You think I cared? I was friends with Angie. Everyone wanted to be friends with Angie.
High school. The bell signaling class change is ringing and the halls are flooded with students. Chrissy and Angie are walking together to class.
Please, Chris. It literally meets like twice a week.
Ange, I don't sing. You know this.
Do not make me audition for this a cappella thing myself.
I want to join Females in STEM Club instead. You can come do that with me.
Yeah, right. Chris, those girls are strange. And you can sing. Remember when we went to that karaoke night in middle school?
Okay, that was kind of fun.
This will be just like that. I promise. And we'll be together.
Fine. You owe me.
Yes, I'll meet you after 8th period.
I'll set the stage. Imagine me, happy little chameleon, peacefully blending in with my simple oak tree. Now, imagine that my happy little oak tree turns into a flashing electric green palm tree. Suddenly I don't blend in anymore. I'm exposed. That was like joining Take Note with Angie. So far out of my comfort zone. It was painful, but it was worth it.
Are you going to the Take Note dinner tomorrow?
Yeah, only if you are.
Yes. What are you wearing?
I adapted like a pro. I changed my pattern and ignored anything that predators would attack. Like Jamie.
Hey, Chris, do you want to carpool to the Take Note dinner?
I sang the same voice part as Jamie in one song, and we really hit it off. Kind of like that, I feel like I've known you forever energy. I liked it.
Chris, you there?
But Take Note had its groups. One was Angie's group, mainly the Sopranos, total leaders of the pack. The other group was Jamie's. Altos. I knew which group I needed to join.
Sorry, I'm writing with Angie.
Oh, no worries.
Angie had some feelings about Jamie. We were also all in the same bio class, which got pretty awkward.
I did not understand that lesson at all. Do you guys want to come over and we can try the homework together?
We're good. Weirdo.
What?
The next day, Kristen and Jamie are walking in the hall.
I can't believe we went to the same summer camp and we never knew.
I know, like we definitely crossed paths at some point. Were you part of the sandbox clique?
Stop. That group always having secret meetings during playground time? I wish. Riley and me are going to the chorus room at lunch today. Want to come?
Oh, I can't. Going to see Mr. Wright with Angie about her test. She needs moral support.
Oh, okay. Do you actually vibe with her?
With Angie?
Yeah.
Of course, we've been friends for like ever.
Yeah.
What do you mean by that?
It's just, she's so, and you're so, don't take this the wrong way, but you deserve more.
Jamie was really nice. Like really nice, but Jamie was like my old habitat, the little oak tree. She didn't radiate or stand out like Angie, and I couldn't blend in with both. They were just too different.
Chris?
I can take care of myself, but thanks for the friendship advice.
Okay.
Jamie just wasn't Angie. So when Jamie invited me to her birthday party, the same weekend Take Note Sopranos were going on an invite-only trip to the beach. I mean, it was a no-brainer, right?
Hey, you on for tonight? We're going to have a bonfire after dinner.
I'm going to the beach with Angie. Sorry.
Okay, then.
Was it worth it?
Sit next to me in the car?
Yeah, totally worth it.
Flash forward to Florida, a group of girls laughing on the beach.
Chris, you're not in the swimsuit. Can you hold my bag?
Oh!
Oh, Stella! Pitcher, come here. Chris can hold your bag.
Suddenly the whole group's bags pile in my arms. As I stand there, I feel a buzz from the phone in my pocket. It's a Snapchat from Jamie. It's her and her friends laughing in her basement with Twizzlers hanging out of their mouths like walrus tusks. I wish I was there.
Chrissy, can you take a picture of me and Raina?
Pause. Sigh. Reset. Shake it off.
Yep. Hand me your phones.
Kristen closes her eyes and the memory of the trip dissolves. Kristen is back in her room, still journaling. There's new texts from Angie lighting up her screen.
Siri, do I have any missed messages from Jamie?
The screen blinks, reads no new messages from Jamie. Kristen picks up her journal, reflects on what she's written so far. She reads aloud.
Humans are like chameleons. We look and dress and act so differently depending on who we're with. We learn how to change our colors, shift into new versions of ourselves, just doing anything to try and blend in with our current environments. Even when we may choose to blend into the wrong thing.
Lights down. End of scene.
I'm passing the phone to a scene that can't decide heads or tails. They just have to flip a coin.
He had a bad day. One bad day and suddenly 8 people are dead, their lives taken senselessly, violently, abruptly, and without remorse from a man who had a bad day. When I have a bad day, when I'm aching because I'm scared for my life, for my mother's life, for my baby cousins' lives, for the lives of my peers and community members, I cry, I pray, I cry some more, I mourn, I talk to my loved ones, I take a breath, and I take another step forward. 8 beautiful souls who will never get another chance to love, to cry, to laugh, to embrace their family, to tell their stories, to take a breath and take another step forward. Instead, their bodies are being buried in the earth. and their loved ones have to listen to the news and the police deny the facts. The fact that this was a targeted and violent hate crime against the Asian community. The fact that this world is so full of hate that people are dying as a consequence of that hostility and violent prejudice. The fact that the real problem here was never a bad day. Call it what it is. Terrorism, a hate crime, a massacre, racism, white supremacy. My mind whirls and swirls like a thunderstorm, glad that my grandparents never had to see this day. Sad that 8 people have been ripped away from this world, mad that people of color have to fear for their lives with every breath they take. I look at the faces of the victims and I see my mother, I see my Aunt Erin, I see my Aunt Jean, I see my Aunt Oki, I see my Harmony, I see my little cousins, I see my friends, and I see myself. We've been taught from a young age to stay quiet. Keep your head low, let the world happen around you, and just let the bad things that happen slide off of you like raindrops in a rainstorm sliding off of your skin. But conscious ignorance to the world's problems and complacency to white supremacy has put a target on our backs. It's allowed people like the man who had a bad day to attack our elders, our mothers, our aunties, our friends, and our community at large. Our women are fetishized and hypersexualized to the point where white men see us as objects for them to fuck and use and dispose of and kill at their pleasure. We do nothing and we are targeted. We speak up and we are targeted. So what left is there to do? I never want to be caught in the consequences of another white man's bad day. And I am terrified that more of my community will be if nothing changes. I live my life as a woman of color, just like many women of color do, on a precipice. One wrong step and I lose my life. One little slip up and I fall off the edge. That's no way to live a life. John Kim once said something that has summed up my thoughts almost perfectly. To live as a person of color in this country is to live every day by the flip of a coin. On one side is to be seen as a commodity to be extracted economically, culturally, and for too many of our Asian sisters, sexually. Just a commodity to be extracted, ready for the taking. On the other side of the coin is to be seen as a threat to the fevered delusions of white supremacists who assume that if we're not there for the taking, then we must be a threat to be removed. Every day is the flip of a coin. 8 people lost their lives, and the threat is larger than any news outlet or political official wants to recognize. All they will tell us is that one man had a bad day.
I do have
Nothing else is coming out of my mouth.
You guys, this is tearing us apart. That's not all at once or never at all. I can't even look at you when you're all like this. Look at you guys using different video filters. You should be ashamed of yourselves. What if we come together, make it all at once and never at all? Then we can end the Korea meeting and go eat food. And isn't at the end of the day, that's what we're all here for anyway?
You know, that's a pretty good idea.
You make a
That's
compelling argument, Leah.
I agree. Leah,